And we begin tonight with continuing coverage of a major wildfire that's broken out in the White Mountains of eastern Arizona. Officials estimate the Greer fire has burned more than 3,500 acres, and right now they have 0% containment.
Now, all of this is happening about 4 hours northeast of the valley. Right now, both lanes of State Route 260 and the southbound lanes of State Route 373 are closed.
Mandatory evacuations are in effect for the entire town of Greer, as well as the North Woods and South Fork areas. Parts of Eager and residents of west of River Road are on set status right now.
The Red Cross has set up temporary shelters for residents at St. John's High School and the Apache Fairgrounds. We've been telling you how much the winds have been such a big factor up in this area. And just take a look at them in this video right here. This is from one of our 12 News weather watchers who lives up in Greer, and you can see the smoke there from the fires in the background, and of course those tree limbs just blowing all over the place.
And it's still blowing right now. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is tracking the conditions for us. And normally these winds die down a little bit overnight, Linz, but it's not happening now.
Yeah, this is a rare occurrence, and the wind's still very brisk out there. In fact, we're seeing routine gusts over 40 miles per hour still, and that's going to continue well into the overnight and even all day tomorrow. The red flag warning has been extended, so it does include far eastern Arizona, including the areas that are seeing these fire conditions right now for the day tomorrow. Look at this, 39-mile-per-hour gusts in both Show Low and Greer. So those winds blowing from the southwest to the northeast, and those gusty winds continuing during the overnight. On the fire lines through the overnight, here's what we can expect. Temperatures in the 50s right now, windy conditions, those winds sustained around 25 to 30 miles per hour, plus those higher gusts. And skies are mainly clear, but notice as we look ahead to tomorrow, we're also looking at those winds to continue through tomorrow as well. So windy conditions, 40 to 50-mile-per-hour gusts. Right now, we're sitting at about a 6 out of 10 on the fire danger, and that number really isn't going to change during the day tomorrow. We have very low relative humidity, no rain in the forecast, and these winds that will persist. So throughout the day tomorrow, moderate to high fire risk continuing. Here's an hour by hour. Right now, those 40-mile-an-hour gusts around Greer. Fast forward this to midday tomorrow, and you start to see the reds, pinks, and oranges indicating those higher wind speeds for far eastern Arizona. This coincides to where that red flag warning has been reissued. And then the good news is Thursday, those winds really drop off. So by Thursday, firefighting efforts should improve from a wind standpoint. Mark?
Linz, thanks, and welcome everyone to 12 News at 10. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. We want to get right to 12 News journalist Chase Golightly. He's joining us live from Apache County. And Chase, you just spoke to fire officials. Do they have any updates?
Great, Mark. The last update we received from the forestry was that this fire is still at 3,500 acres and growing. They said still at 0% containment right now. Crews are working on battling the fire on the east and west side of it. They said right now with these strong wind gusts that have been going all day, and you can probably hear it through the microphone right now, is that they said it is pushing the fire towards South Fork and the town of Eager, and you can actually see those flames just right behind me on the ridge. We're right next to 260. This is the road that is shut down leading into Greer, and you can see those flames and the smoke just coming over the ridge here toward the area of Eager that is currently under pre-evacuation notice right now, and crews are just trying all that they can to battle this fire. But again, with those strong winds, it's really hindered their efforts. And we were able to speak to some people living here in Eager about their thoughts on this whole situation and how they're getting ready in case this fire gets closer and closer to them.
Wow.
The entire community of Greer evacuated from a fire burning through homes and structures.
Firefighters are really fighting an uphill battle right now.
Tiffany Davila with the State Department of Forestry and Fire Management tells us crews are currently working on protecting more homes from getting destroyed and working on containment. But Mother Nature prevented them from using aircraft to attack the fire from above.
We had to ground those heavy aircraft because of the high winds.
The wind was relentless throughout the day, pushing the fire closer to South Fork and Eager. putting several people like Jerry Porter on pre-evacuation notice.
The first thing you think of is, okay, what do I need to start getting together? Should I hook up the camp trailer? I've already started making a list.
For others in Eager who aren't evacuated, they are preparing for that possibility.
It's definitely headed this way.
Trevor Shelton is one of many watching it happen.
Hope and pray that everything will be good and we can get out.
The Mayer family is also ready.
Packed bags and got our animals prepped and trucks and cars ready to go if we need to.
Kyle Mayer said as soon as he was told that his kids' school was being let out early because of the fire, they didn't want to take any chances.
This, and it's burning up the ridge kind of more towards Eager. That's a little more scary.
Everyone here hoping that tomorrow will be a better day for firefighters to use everything they can to go after this fire.
Hopefully the wind will let up and let those guys do their job.
We will take tomorrow on an hour-by-hour basis. If we can launch aircraft, we will absolutely launch aircraft.
Now, in regards to those evacuations, we were told by fire officials that, yes, they have evacuated the whole town of Greer, but they also said that they can't force people to leave their properties. And we know covering these fires, there are people that decide to stay at their homes and try to do their own fire mitigation. When I asked Tiffany Davila what she would like to say to those who want to remain at their homes, she said again, they can't force them, but she just says that they really need to be careful. And if the worst case scenario happens, that they're going to have to risk firefighters' lives to go to those homes to try to save the people who are inside. So she's just really asking the community to be safe about this, to get far away from those flames, and just to really protect yourself and let firefighters focus on battling this fire to prevent it from spreading further. Of course, we're going to stay out here throughout the night, and we'll have continuing coverage tomorrow on Today in AZ. But for right now, we're live near Eager. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. Thanks for your reporting. The Greer isn't the only wildfire burning in Arizona tonight. Crews are also dealing with the Bryce fire in Graham County, which is now 29% contained. Officials say the human-caused fire started last Wednesday and has now burned more than 3,000 acres. Several nearby neighborhoods were put on set evacuation status over the weekend. Remember, it's ready, set, go. So when you get the set evacuation status, you need to be ready and have your bags packed. But that has now been downgraded to a ready status. They're also watching the Coyote fire, which has quickly burned through more than 1,200 acres. This one's burning near Eager and Springerville near the New Mexico-Arizona border. Crews tell us it started Sunday afternoon and was the result of a structure fire that then spread to some nearby brush. That fire is now 25% contained.
And as these fires continue to burn, stage 2 fire restrictions are now in effect across parts of our state. So that means no campfires, no smoking outside, no target shooting, and no fireworks. If you're also not allowed to use any kind of charcoal, coal, or elevated grills, including on campgrounds. Now, liquid or gas stoves are okay. These rules apply to state, federal, and some tribal lands within the counties that you see there on your screen.
We just want to give you a reminder that for the latest updates on the Greer fire and any other fires that pop up, download our 12 News app. You can just scan the QR code that we have on your screen right now. That will take you to a page on our website dedicated to wildfire coverage.
Also developing tonight, a Valley mother was hit and killed while walking in a neighborhood near Glendale and 51st Avenue. The driver took off, and now police are asking for help finding them.
12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra has the details on her family's plea for justice.
If you know something, if you heard anything, if you were there and you've seen it, please come forward.
A mother's desperate plea for answers.
They took her away from me. And it's not fair. It's not fair.
As the search for the person who killed her daughter remains unsolved.
I want whoever driving that car to stay in prison for the rest of her life.
In the early morning hours of April 27th, Glendale police say Valentina Lizette Provencio Ortiz was walking southbound on 54th Avenue near Northview when a car hit her from behind.
She had trauma to the head. And for them to save her life at the moment, they had to cut open her head, her skull, and let her brain swell out so it wouldn't rupture inside her skull.
Her injuries were too severe and doctors could not save her. Detectives are now turning to the public for help identifying the driver who possibly was driving a white four-door Toyota sedan.
They took her life. They took her away from her babies.
Ortiz was a loving mother who leaves behind 2 daughters and a son.
She left me her legacy.
Her mother tells me Ortiz was full of life.
She's amazing. She's the best daughter anybody could ever ask for.
And she won't stop until there's justice for her daughter.
I just want these people to be found and put behind bars for the rest of their life.
In Glendale, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thanks. For the first time today, Mesa Fire Chief Mary Camelli talked about the death of firefighter Mark Keller. Keller died on duty last week. He started his career with the department in 1990 and served for over 35 years.
Mark Keller was an amazing man. He was loved by everybody on this organization. He wore many hats throughout the organization. He was a paramedic. He did special teams, hazmat, TRT. He was a training officer for a while. So Mark will truly be missed. He made everybody feel welcomed, and he made everybody feel like you were his best friend when he talked to you. He always walked around with a smile, and he was the same with every single person that was on this department as he was with the community that we serve.
The department is working on finalizing plans for Keller's funeral. We'll be sure to share those with you when they're released.
Tonight in Washington, D.C., 345 names were added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. That included the names of 4 Arizona officers who lost their lives last year. Officer Adam Buckner from Tucson, Officer Joshua Brees from Gila River, Detective Ryan So from Scottsdale, and Officer Zane Coolidge from Phoenix were all honored tonight. The memorial is updated every year during National Police Week.